Hello, folks, and welcome to Fay Earth. We are at an unusual time tonight. Normally, we stream at 8 o'clock Dublin time on a Tuesday, that's CET minus one. But for this week's Halloween special, we are streaming tonight. Um, Fey Earth is an inti TTRPG set in an alternate 19th century Earth where all the creatures from folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and live alongside humanity. Our game is set in France in the year 1872, about a little under a year since a devastating war that they had, in which they allied with Prussia against the Fey nation of Arcadia. Normally we would have a full team, but right now we are just doing an intimate RP with Christina, who plays the tiny tank of the party, Mina. She had recently been traveling with her brother, who she had freed from some mad scientists, and we are going to see that return to home. Before anything else, I'm going to take my fabulous steampunk goggles and move them up to my forehead because I can't actually see. So, um, let us commence. So, Mina, you got the bus, sorry, the bus, you got the train it's an overnight train. I believe you said it was to Geneva you were going, wasn't it?
Zurich, actually,
Oh,
yeah.
Zurich, sorry,
We
yeah, to
said,
Zurich,
oh, and
okay.
then to Zurich, yeah.
Yeah, so an overnight train to Zurich. It travels from Paris down to Dijon. There's a, refueling and the lights there, and then on to Zurich, all right? Um, and the train left at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon from Paris,
Mhm.
and you arrived in to the city pretty early the next morning, around 9-ish, okay? Now you had already arranged for your uncle to meet you there, okay? And you do have the wonderful Canadian gunslinger Sophie, who has come to join you just to give you a bit of extra help. This is an ally that you had worked alongside previously exploring a thing. Okay, so you arrive you arrive in the city train station. You get everything. Your brother was mostly okay for the journey. He is very quiet, and there were a few times when he was getting startled by some loud noises on the train. Like, he's definitely not okay, but he's significantly
Yeah,
better than he had been. Okay.
okay.
And when you alight from the carriage, you've only got a small bit of stuff. You have your goblin purse, so that makes travel very easy. Um, and you alight, and after a moment or two, you see your uncle. And
I wave with him.
yeah, he comes up. He immediately arms wrapped around your brother because everybody thought he was dead. Okay, nobody had heard from him since last April or something. Okay, so arms wrapped around him, kisses on the cheeks, and he's like, "It's so great to see you, my boy." And of course, your brother flinches at this, and your uncle notes it and takes a step back, and he sees you, gives you a big hug, and he's, "Well done, my dear. You did an amazing job. I always believed in you.
Hello, Uncle Oscar. It's good to see you.
It's good to see
Thanks for
you too,
coming
my
to
dear."
meet us.
Oh, of course, of course. When I got the message, I couldn't believe it. We all thought, we all thought that you were gone. And
I never given up on him.
No, you didn't. In his excitement, he has not spotted. Although I can't remember, is your brother wearing gloves?
Yeah, I bought gloves for him.
Yeah, so he hasn't spotted anything about him. But once you start moving, your brother he's limping ever so slightly. But far less so than somebody with a wooden prosthetic leg would move. Okay. So he says, so I've arranged
Prosthetic arm, not a leg.
sorry, prosthetic arm, but yeah, no, I know. So he is limping ever so slightly. You think that he's just kind of stiff, and
Hmm.
long train journey, and you're not sure if it's nervous
I,
energy.
I go to his side and I gently, hook my arm into his good arm
Hmm.
on his good side. And I
Hmm.
just like very gently, like, are you okay?
Yeah, this is a lot.
I know.
we shall see. So how would you get from Zurich? I assume it'd just be like there's no train that goes. You're a fairly
No,
small.
there's coaches,
Yeah,
and then you can get like boat then as well across. Like we could get a coach to Lucerne and then take a boat.
across the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's exactly what happens. And when you're on the boat,
Steamboats that are still actually operating to this day.
yeah.
Sorry, like
Um,
hashtag with tourism.
when you are on the boat, you do see your brother kind of relaxing and smiling a bit. It's kind of bringing back fond childhood
Yeah,
memories
yeah.
because this is a regular way people in Switzerland get around. It's a small mountainous country with some big lakes.
And
So
nobody swims,
no,
by the way.
yes, as Mina had to be reminded of when she jumped into a
Yeah,
river.
nobody swims.
So yeah. So how long would you say this trip takes? You've arrived into the city pretty early, about a little after 9.
It actually takes with the steamboat. Let me see. It's I said 2.5 hours, I think.
Okay, so we'll say it's a bit slower because it's a 19th century steamboat, so it's not going to be quite as fast.
Well, no, it's
So
still the same steamboat like they had
oh
it back
shit.
in the day.
Oh, okay,
They repaired them. They're actually back in business since
that's
since
amazing.
the 80s. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is actually incredible. So the whole journey between the coach and the steamboat and all that probably takes about 5.5 hours.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, but
so
totally. But
you are getting into your village at a little after half 2. Okay,
yeah, and
now
then from because I'm not in the town where I grew up, I'm slightly up in the mountain. I would say another half an hour, 40 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on the horses.
yeah. So your uncle on the in the journey there, he asks your brother questions about the war. Your brother he talks a little bit about it, about the battles, about how he'd been sick and he'd been kind of trapped in a dream, and your uncle
Mm.
kind of he's seen this before once or twice with other members of the Swiss Guard, other soldiers. But
Like there is like a restaurant on the boat, one in coach and one in first class.
mm,
The first class being a bit more fancy, but we're traveling coach. But we can eat something, and
yeah,
then when we have a minute, I'll tap my uncle on the shoulder and just kind of signal him to come outside with me.
mhm,
And I think because Sophie is such a kind person, like she got
yeah,
along, she
yeah,
knows how to handle like my brother. I think
yeah,
he'd be comfortable with her, and so I just give her a look. And I'm sure she understands after like so many hours on the train.
mm,
And I mean, I get my uncle outside, and I just have a quick word with him, and I say, um, "Do you know he's changed very much? I think he's seen things, and I don't think he'll ever be the same. Um, like he doesn't really talk about it, and I don't know if I'd ever really understand not having been there myself. But there is another thing you should know, and I tell him what had happened in the hospital.
and when you say that he's horrified, he's like the poor boy. He lost an arm and then he was experimented on.
And at that point, like Mina, it's just the closer we get to like I mean, the end of our boat journey, like as Alois is kind of starting to relax a bit. Mina is just tensing up more and more, and
Yeah,
she starts crying, and she goes like, "I found him, and he was okay." And then I was just it's not that I left, but I went to go and get some money, and when I came back, like all of a sudden he disappeared, and I would have never guessed that they would do something like that. But I feel so bad for just leaving him there. But he didn't even talk, and he couldn't even recognize me, and I couldn't even like I couldn't have brought him home because he was so startled. But I feel so bad for just leaving him there, and I just I
your
mean, start
uncle
crying like into my
wraps
uncle's,
you in big hug, and he's like, "It's okay, it's okay, ah, it's
I
Okay.
just don't know what mom will say. And I just start completely breaking, like,
Yeah. Um, he lets you just sob it out, and he doesn't say anything, and he lets you like 2, 3 minutes of just, and eventually, when you get your breathing back, he says, "Well, I haven't contacted your mother yet. I did you let her know that you're coming?"
no, I sent a letter to you, and
Yeah,
I mean, I told him that I found him, and like I wrote about his condition, but like that was way before this whole thing
of
happened
course.
with. And I don't know. Do you know how she blames me for everything? And I'm
Look,
just like, I don't know what to do.
Mina, your brother, we thought was dead. Everybody thought it was dead. You're the only one who didn't give up on him, and you found him, and you've brought him back. Is he the same man he was before he left? No. But war does that to men. Even when they're not mistreated so horribly, war can do that to men. And that war that just happened against the Fae, those fools in Prussia and in Paris, it we haven't seen a war like that ever. Honestly, the fact that you are bringing your brother home, whatever your mother might say, she'll have to. She can never deny the fact that you're the one who found him. You're the one who never gave up, and you're the reason he's going to be safe at home with his mother and his father.
To that, Mina takes a big sob, and she's like ugly crying with like
Yeah,
snot streaming down, and he's just like, will you talk to your bloody sister then? Because like you know what he's like.
I'll deal with her. Don't worry, don't worry, and don't worry, and don't forget, you're not on your own. Your father's there too.
I know, I know, but like, she's like, she thinks like he would have never left if I hadn't, and I just, oh,
Nonsense. Look, the reality is he wasn't good enough to get in, and you were. And
and it's
but
just like, me,
yeah,
I don't even know what to do at this stage. I'm just ugly crying with snot and everything. I'm just
you
like,
know, your uncle, if he was a more typical 19th century man, he'd be immediately whipping out the handkerchief. But he's a soldier and a fighter. He doesn't
yeah,
carry
totally, he
around
doesn't care.
handkerchiefs for like delicate women folk.
No,
You know, it's
yeah,
like no, 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 no. So it's like
we're good soldiers. We wipe our snot on our sleeves.
absolutely, absolutely. You stay outside for a while longer, and when you get back in, you can see your brother. He's just sitting there quietly. He's not speaking to Sophie. He's not necessarily staring up, but he's just kind of quietly in his own space, okay? And eventually, as I said, the boat arrives, you disembark, and the final leg of the journey um, up towards your family home, okay?
I look to Sophie and I tell her like, "Welcome to the mountains, my friend."
It,
And it's
po-
just pointing out all the different peaks and say
yeah.
like, okay, this one is called Ekberga and this one is called the Gitcha and that's it's the Nitterbauer and that's it like, and I completely and utterly like,
Yeah, she's well. It's quite fabulous now. I mean, like from more forest myself. There is mountains in Canada, but they're on the far, 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 far side of the territory. Is way off, like hundreds of kilometers west. So not really many mountains where I'm from. So and after you said about 30, 40 minutes, you find yourself coming up towards your family's farm. Okay, coming up, there's a little laneway to the main house. You can see smoke rising from the chimney. This is a house that you grew up in. You know every single centimeter of it. You know, and your uncle squeezes your hand because he can see with every centimeter
yeah,
you get
I'm
close.
so
You're
nervous,
like
like my heart skips a beat
shaking.
and I'm
You're
just like,
tense. But your brother is actually he seems to be more eagerly moving forward. And as he's getting nearer, he just cries out, "Muta, Muta!" And you hear a cry from inside. And a moment later, rushing out the door is your mother. And as she throws open the door and she sees your brother, she just drops to her knees and starts crying, sobbing, like she's just broken. Her son, who she thought was dead, is standing in front of her. And a minute or so later, your father comes out shocked as well, and he runs up to your brother and he gives him a big hug, squeezing him. Your father's, he's quite short.
Mm,
You get your height from him because he's got
yeah,
stature blood and,
tiny.
short and agile.
Yeah, Mina, with this whole thing, Mina's just kind of sheepishly hanging at the back and just kind of hiding behind her uncle, and she's just kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, standing
And
back.
And your mother, she after a minute, she composes herself. She gets up and she grabs him and she's like looking at him as if it's like, is it really you? Is it really you? It's like she doesn't believe it, and she's like literally touching his face, touching his shoulders, and one of her hands brushes against his arm, and she feels something, and she looks, pauses for a moment, but then looks back up at them, and your brother's eyes, like he's just crying, like just tears pouring down his face, and she gives him a big hug and a big kiss. And your dad at this stage is like, he spotted you and he comes up to you and he gives you a big hug and a kiss. He says, you never stop believing. You said you'd find him, and you did, and you brought him home. And he just
I
big
just
hug,
hug
and
my dad, and I
you
just
can
cry into
feel,
his shoulder, like, because
yeah,
he knows exactly how I feel. Like,
you can feel the tears from him falling on your cheek as well. Um, as and Sophie's just kind of standing off the side, um,
yeah, well,
and
she, of
yeah,
course.
she's not an idiot. And a minute or so later, your mother's finally composed herself, and she sees her brother, and she sees you, and she says,
Hi, mom.
"Hello, daughter. Thank you for bringing home my little boy.
Of course. I said I would.
You did."
I mean, it's just kind of like, looking up like that, he's, yeah.
And she sees her brother, and she goes up. She kind of goes up a little bit, and gives him a nod, and says, uh, scans around, spots Sophie. He's like, quick nod. Is like, I don't know who this person is. She's got a rifle. She's probably some random soldier person. And says, let us go inside. We shall eat.
At this point, I peep up and I say, Mom, this is a friend of mine. This is Sophie. She's Canadian and she helped me bring Alois back home
When you say that, she goes over to her and she like takes her and says,
from Paris.
thank you so much for helping us bring my little boy home. And Sophie's like, well, thank you, man, but actually, I was just an escort for the final part of the journey. It was Mina. She was the one who she found him and she healed him and she rescued him. Um, I'm sure she'll tell you the story later, ma'am. And your dad's like, okay. We're going inside, and we'll be sending out a message. There's a party tonight, big party. You go inside. So when you go inside, what would your mother do? Like, would she have any particular drink or food or something she'd immediately start
Yeah,
to
she
prepare?
probably immediately go to the kitchen and make like my brother's favorite drinks
Mm-hmm.
and come out and start immediately like, oh my God, you're so thin.
Mm,
um like any mother in the world, oh my God, you're so thin, here, let me feed you. And she immediately starts cooking up all sorts of stuff, like,
yeah.
roasty, and I haven't got a clue what else, like all
Mm,
sorts of stuff. And
ah,
she's like, oh, and I have fresh cheese here. And oh my God. And then she says to my dad, oh, you have to go and buy such and such, I mean, like she would send dad away with like a huge list, and then she goes like, oh my God. And like she's completely like,
yeah, yeah.
instead of sitting down with her son, she's like just
No,
running around.
I'm gonna feed him. She's in
Okay.
mother. Okay. So she's
Yep.
spin that for, and your brother's just sitting there and he's kind of relaxed and he's like back at home in his house, somewhere he thought he would never
I
be
just
again.
I just pull up my uncle's sleeve and I say, like, just tell her she can't overwhelm him with like parties and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I'll talk to her, okay? And your uncle does go into the kitchen, and you're hearing snippets of the conversation. Like, but we have to celebrate. He's like, no, you don't understand. He's been through a lot. He was badly injured. And he's like, just a small number of people, oldest friends and family maybe, but no more than two or three. He's like, but it's, I was like, no, he can gradually meet people again. He's been through a lot. He's not the same. He's not the same always that you know that left. And she's like, she's getting a bit upset about that. And he's like, and the only reason you have him back is because of Mina. She's like, well, of course I know that. And it's like, and she goes back to her stuff, and eventually your father gets back, and he's sitting down, and
I'd also want to say that like my mother would does not call me Mina. She calls Mina by her full name. Mina bloody hates it. Like she
yeah,
would say Wilhelmina,
yeah,
and she,
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, like Mina accepts it, but she's like, oh, absolutely hates it.
Do you say anything to your dad about your brother, or do you leave your uncle to talk to him?
No, when my dad is sent off to shop, I'd actually before he leaves, or just as he's about to leave, because he would have to fetch like his coat and stuff, like
Yeah,
whatever. I would be like, "Oh, I'll come with you, Dad. I'll help you." And I go out and I'd actually shop. I would find any excuse to get out of the
yeah.
house, and then I would have a quiet word and then tell him like exactly like what happened to him
Hmm.
and at what state he was in when I found Aloise and what happened to him. And but I had my breakdown with my uncle,
Yeah.
whom I'm like, I mean, Mina would be kind of close to her dad, but her uncle took her so much under her wing when she was little
Mhm.
that she has like closest relationship
Yeah.
with like, what I mean, and parental figure as such would be with her uncle totally.
Your father's horrified to hear. He's like, so you're saying he has an arm that is made of metal and gears, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's magically
And I mean,
grafted
like,
to his
listen,
shoulder.
the
But
general idea isn't that bad. There were so many people who
no, of
lost arms
course.
and legs, right? But
Oh,
what they ended up doing was absolutely horrified. And it
well,
was my friend who cast magic to break, like, because that man, what I mean, he was a sorcerer and
mm,
he had somehow control over these men. They didn't have their minds anymore.
that's tough.
My friend, um, Christine, oh my God, you would love her. Like, she's so lovely. She had lost her brother as well, but like,
Mm,
anyway, she cast a spell to break that, and that kind of snapped him out. And when he saw that I was attacked, he shouted my name and he started fighting with us. It was before that he didn't even recognize me.
well, well. Look, I'm just glad he's home. We all thought he was dead. You're the only one who never stopped believing. You're the only one. Your mother, she cried herself to sleep many nights thinking she'd lost her son. But you never
Look, I
stopped
mean,
believing. You never stopped.
I've been writing to the twins, and even they were saying that's just what happens to soldiers,
Uh,
and he's not the only one who didn't, come home or has
and
been lost. And
he
I
if
just I just didn't accept it. Even if I find his body, like I would have brought him home.
I know. So you go, you do your shopping. You get a chunk of ham, you get a load of bread, some more cheese, some schnapps, some more cheese. It's Switzerland,
Yeah, yeah.
and you do eventually get back. And when you get back, your brother is actually up and he's talking to your mother, and she's pretty upset. And you can see he's taken off his jacket and his sleeve is rolled up and his arm is fully visible. And when you walk in, she looks at she looks at the two of you, and she looks at you, and she looks pretty angry. But then your brother reaches out with his organic arm, and he takes your mother's hand, and he looks at her like almost sternly and gives her a squeeze, and she's like really tense, and she just relaxes, like lets this tension and this anger go. And your brother goes up to your dad. He's like, "Here, father, let me help you with all this. I can show you what my new arm does." Kind of making really inappropriate joke right now to try and break the tension, and they go taking the stuff, and your mother
Yeah,
comes.
Mina would be the same. Mina would be like, "Oh my God, yeah, you should see it. It's amazing.
And your
Like you
mother
never have to buy matches again. I tell you, it's amazing."
comes up to you and standing right in front of us. Wilhelmina, I know when last we spoke before you left, I said some things to you that I should not have said. I was angry and I was hurting. I thought I'd lost my boy and I needed somebody to
No,
blame,
Mom.
and
I know.
I took it out on you. But the truth is, you're the only one who never stopped believing that you could find him, and he's back. And I can never thank you for that, but I'll try, Mina.
And when she calls me like by my preferred name, you know me, and I'm like, thanks, Mom.
And she then very awkwardly and very uncomfortable goes back to the kitchen because this is not the relationship that you have. But um, there is a small number of people brought over that night. You have us. Everybody's so happy to see your brother. He does keep his jacket on for the night. He doesn't want to be showing off his arm to everybody, and they're not telling everybody about it. But it is actually a very small, intimate, but very happy celebration. Over the next day or so, you do talk to your mother some more. You've your father some more, and you can tell like something has definitely changed in your relationship. You've never been close ever. You've always been your father's child. Your uncles. You've never had a good. And it's not like she's suddenly loving you, but there is a gratitude and a respect there that had never existed before. Um, and you're sitting there one afternoon, like enjoying a bit of food your mother cooked, and the one thing you do say is like, "Well, you didn't have a great relationship. You did miss your mother's cooking, you know."
Yeah,
Um,
totally,
and
totally.
all of a sudden, you see silvery font appearing in front of you as a message comes from Gwyn explaining that the party is going to be traveling off, has finished her work in Cherville and is going to be going off to this small little town um, that is kind of halfway between Cherville and Lyon, um, and would love it if you could try and make it there as well to meet them.
I immediately pull out my notebook from my goblin purse
Mm-hmm.
that I haven't told
Yeah,
about to anyone, and quickly write down the name before the font disappears. And I say to Sylvie, or Sophie rather, I think we should go. And then my uncle is still there, I presume,
yeah.
because he wouldn't leave me alone.
No, I wouldn't.
And I say to him, like, Uncle Oscar, I made some friends that helped me, and I actually would very much like to go back and help them. I think we can do a lot of good. And to be honest, there might be some opportunities to make a bit of coin I could send home. And yeah, you know me, I'm not one of sitting at home and,
Of
being a
course.
housewife.
We'll leave today.
Thank you. And
Okay.
I go and talk to my dad as well and
Mm-hmm.
tell him.
Mm-hmm.
And then very reluctantly, I say to Mom, listen, there's some things I need to do. So I'll be heading off. Um, and just mind him, okay? And yeah, he's been much better
Mm-hmm.
since he's come home. So,
Don't
and I give
worry.
her a hug, very kind of, mean. I pour everything I want to say into a hug, and she's
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. And I'm just like, oh, you know, I love you, Mom. And then I'll just pack my stuff and kind of start to
Yeah.
okay, I want to get out of here. Like,
Mhm. No, absolutely. And you start your trek steamboat to um
but may I add, I'd say for our journey, Mina's mum will probably like pack a ton of food for us
oh,
and
I assumed.
insist
Yeah, yeah.
us on, bringing it like,
Yeah, no, I assumed as
you know,
much. Yeah, absolutely. What you do, you make your journey, okay? It's a bit of a trek, It's you get to
horse
Zurich
it.
and then it's train to Dijon and then from Dijon to Lyon and then from there it's a coach that gets you um to the town of La Police. Please, any French viewers, forgive me if I just butchered that pronunciation. Okay, and you don't you were told, oh, it's this. We're meeting in the
And
like this
whatever.
in this town, big old like you're given a very brief kind of. There's a house that we were told a boy has gone missing. So you're doing your best to get there as quickly as you can. Just give me one moment, folks. We're nearly there with the new overlay. Um, um, Sorry. And you do get there. So yes. So you'd been gone for like over a week. You left Paris on Wednesday the 13th, and you arrive in this town on Friday the 22nd. So you'd be gone a while. Um, you had like I mean, now not let's not forget that it was like a day's travel just to get to your family home, and then obviously you were staying there for a good few days, kind of helping out with your brother and everything. But you arrived here nonetheless, and we are now going to hopefully have everybody up and you can see our fabulous costumes. So, the rest of the party, you had been in Cherville, and this guy Antoine had come up to you that afternoon. It explained the situation, that a there's a weird echo popping up right now. I don't think it's from me. Oh, I just realized I forgot to add the captions. Is everybody's headphones working okay? I'm getting a slightly weird echo. Is there an
Could that
echo in the
could
chat?
that could that be from because I have the bedroom door open? Its sound might be traveling up and being picked up on my mic.
Could be. Can you close the door, love?
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. And I'm going to close these doors as well. Excuse me 1 second, viewers. Okay. Yeah, I think we have identified the problem. Now, I'm going to try and squeeze this captions in as well.
Yeah, there's no more echo now. So
Okay.
sorry about that. I didn't.
No, no, no.
I didn't twig that immediately.
My fault as well. So,
question.
yes.
What's the dating game and the
date?
date?
The dating game is so Antoine arrives on Thursday the 21st in Cherville and explains to you all that he's from this town. It's a little less than halfway between Cherville and Lyon, and that his brother had gone into this house on the edge of the town. Nobody goes in. It's burnt down. It's supposed to be haunted. and he didn't come out. Some men went in the next day. They couldn't find him. So he'd come here because he'd heard stories that there was a band of heroes in Cherville who'd been helping the locals. So
Gwen also cast locate person, and it kind of worked, but not really.
Yeah.
But if he was dead, it wouldn't have worked at all. So like he's alive.
Yeah.
He's just
so
like.
So anywho's, so he had arrived in a wagon, and the next day you all head with him, okay, via wagon to the town, okay. It's a very slow wagon. The horse that's pulling him isn't a horse. It's a very, very old-looking donkey. So old, in fact, that you're worried the thing might die on the trip. Okay? So a journey that probably should have taken maybe 6-7 hours takes like nearly 12, you know.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I is this, how long is it going to take us a day?
It's going to take you most of a day to get there.
So we'll be doing it, will we be going straight into this haunted house business?
At night, of course. It's what better way to explore a haunted house?
Okay, do you know what? Okay. Sylvia is going to, okay, I think maybe I can help with this. Maybe I could pull the wagon instead.
Excuse me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have magic. I am not going to this poor animal is, I am concerned that they may not be able to manage to carry all of us.
Don't worry, okay? He's fine.
Well, I am relatively young compared to this horse, so
Donkey.
I would compared to this donkey. If I was to, Neil, can I hit die wise change into a horse with that new wild shape spell?
You could certainly. I don't know how many.
Or do I have?
So you're 7th level,
and I have 85 hit points.
Yeah, it's so a number of grit dice equal to your level, I think, is the spell description.
Yeah.
So I think you could maybe see, donkeys are pretty tough, but no, I'd say you'd just about be able to, you know. We see pony wouldn't be strong enough to pull a wagon with like 5 people in it, you know. Like, let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
So no, I'd say
a smaller horse.
I'd say you could probably you're just about pushing it, but probably you could change into a donkey or a mule.
I'm just thinking in terms. I don't want to deal with a dead fucking animal, or maybe if it does. Well, if it.
And look, it's not really that relevant, okay?
Sorry.
So, like, it's not really making a big difference here, okay?
Okay, I won't. Sorry.
Okay,
Sorry.
so, right. So you eventually, as I say, get to the town, all right? And it's getting later in the evening by the time you get there, okay? And you do, he pulls you into, there's like, it's not even an inn, it's a small little pub, where he's like, okay, so we're going to stop here, leave the donkey here, and I'm gonna walk you the rest of the way. Mina, you'd gotten there only about an hour ago, and had just naturally gone to the pub, figuring this is where they would see you, and you hear a conversation from outside because it's kind of quiet in here. This is a tiny little town, okay? Like a couple of, maybe the population is probably like, 400 or 500 people, very small. And you do hear voices outside, and you think, oh, that sounds like your friends. And Mina, walking out of the tavern, sees you all.
Mina, you made it. Welcome back. And Gwen will give you a big hug.
Yeah, Mina will hug back, and she has like a grin on, like she kind of has this kind of relief kind of look on her face, and kind of like a look of like, oh, I'm so glad to be here.
Your brother is safely home?
Yeah, and the closer we got to home, the better he felt, and he kind of perked up when he saw Mum. So, and Yeah, he's eating well, and I think he'll be fine.
Well, I think if he is around people who love him and support him, he will, I think, recover.
Yeah, just he needed to be home. He needed to be in the mountains and the fresh air.
Yeah, you did say that. So, I think that you are right. I think that he will recover from this now. I'm glad that you are back.
We'll need you,
Yeah.
I think.
I am glad to be back too. You have no idea.
Sylvia's gonna give you a
everybody
look.
hug in turn, and and I go like, so what happened? How's Dubois? Is he still alive? Looking
he
at
is not-
Gwyn specifically.
He's not a werewolf
Unfortunately.
anymore.
Oh, it worked. Fantastic. Yeah, I see you'll be able to do it. Like, I have faith in you.
Well, I think the credit should go to Gwyn. She was able to provide a pretext by giving Dubois some of her special wine. And he then became
but
ill.
the poisonous one, I guess, no?
So while you're having this conversation, the guy who brought you here is looking at you all kind of confused and a little worried because you've just mentioned the words werewolf and poison in the same sentence.
Just an ordinary day in the
So
office.
He's not a werewolf anymore.
So
it's fine.
Mina, you spot this guy who was kind of like rubbing a donkey, looking at you all, like clearly the guy who was on the wagon that you'd all arrived in, looking very concerned.
This is Anton. There is a house where his brother
Yes,
has
we
gone
should
missing.
we should hurry up. I will show you where it is. Yes.
Okay. While we're walking, we'll just fill Mina in on everything.
Yeah. So it's about a 35.
I kind of go over and say like, "Bonjour, monsieur. So, what is this? Your house, or
Oh
what exactly is happening?"
no one has lived here for decades. It used to belong to a local doctor and his wife, and the house many years ago burnt down, and both of them died inside it. It's been a ruin since. The stories say it's haunted, and the children dare each other to go in. And my idiot brother, about 4 or 5 days ago, went in, and he didn't come out. And we went in looking for him. We were unable to find him.
So, how old is your brother?
He's 8.
What is his name?
Right. Yeah,
his-
children do just such things.
His name is Robert.
Up there.
Yeah. So obviously we're very worried. If he had just
Well,
been,
there you say.
if he just,
Robert.
yeah, if he'd just been injured, like by, I don't know, the unstable building, we would have found him. But he's not there. He's gone.
Okay. Well, we'll see
Could be a
if we
number
can
of
do.
things.
Yeah. Why is it always fire with these things? Why?
We don't. There's many stories, rumors, gossip about it. Some have said.
Well, ghosts are a bit. I mean, I don't know. Personally, I don't know. I'm a bit of a skeptic. Like it could be.
Oh, well,
I
we
don't know,
saw
a
those
port
shades
to the
into
Fey realm
Mounds.
or a pocket realm or something like that. I mean, personally, I don't really fancy going into the Fey realm again. But and Mina is like very nonchalant. Like she was just like, "Yeah, you can hear that."
Yeah.
And you heard right, I mean, she kind of looks straight in the face of like, yeah, we've been to the Fey realm. No big deal. Like, she really revels in that at the moment.
Well, he's very impressed by this. So, as I said, it's about a 35, 40-minute walk until you get to the structure, the house. You get, it's, you get to, it looks like a kind of an estate. There's a wall going around it. There's a gate, but the gate is rusted and half hanging off its hinges. Coming into it, you see the grounds are overgrown. And clearly has not been lived in some time. And getting up to, you see a quite grand 2-story house, quite big, but in ruins. As was explained, there was a terrible fire. You can see the evidence of this. Most of the windows have been broken, soot stains everywhere. Surprisingly, the roof seems to be actually intact, but there's no front door. There's ivy growing in through the windows and breaks, the wall into the structure. And the entire area, the entire building just has this really horribly dark, oppressive, ominous feel to it. Like as you're coming up towards it, it almost feels like the very house itself is looking back at you all.
Mina's just like, that's very welcoming.
Yes, you hear the sounds of caws, and looking up, you can see there's a small group of ravens that are flying in the air, circling, and some are landing, and some, continuing to fly. As I said, the grounds are terribly overgrown with briars and ivy and so forth. And I says, "Well, so this, as I said, is the house.
All right.
If you would be so kind, I will be waiting." And he points back at the gates to the estate entrance.
Okay. Well, before we go in, I'm gonna cast Restorative Spark on everybody.
Okay. So you cast Restorative Spark on everybody. Deduct a mana. In the time that there was a little bit of downtime in Cherville before Antoine appeared, and I think we'd said before the game, Susie had me that you had made there's two standard healing tinctures you'd made.
Yeah, so I'm going to give one to Mina, and
Thank you.
I might hang on to, I might hang on to the other one, because if I'm not up, I can't heal, so.
Okay, so, right. Right.
I'm going to, yeah.
So,
Mina will open her goblin person, pull Albert out.
Oh, yeah.
Freshly oiled in the magical, mystical oil.
Oh,
and you go like, Albert, there's work to do.
And Aminata has her oil of...
Aminata, they finally got Justine to cast Detect Magic on that bottle of oil you'd found in the ogre's nest, and it was oil of True Shot. So this is an oil which, when you use it when maintaining your firearms, if you roll a 1, it counts as a partial misfire, not a critical misfire.
Awesome.
So
I will also definitely be using that.
Yeah. So bloody important. It doesn't make the weapon be considered magical in any way.
Yeah.
But you roll a 2 and it's a misfire. You roll a 1, the gun explodes in your hand and needs to be repaired. Now that doesn't happen. If you roll a 2, it's a miss, and if you roll a 1, it's now just a gun jam and a misfire, a minor gun jam and misfire. So it's very useful.
How long did it take us to cast that spell? Like 10 months?
Oh yeah, it was ridiculous. She just kept forgetting to ask her. Like, it was ridiculous. So anyway.
Also, sorry, ladies, did you manage to pick up these bracelets?
They did.
Armor
they did.
We did, and then we'll pull them out of
So-
her goblin purse
And
present them to
give you
everyone.
your one. So that enchanted bracelet of armor gives you a armor of, I believe it's 5/3. Is that
5/3? Yeah.
Yeah. So you now have an armor rating of 5/3. I can't remember who else ordered them. I know. So
A lot of people.
Yeah.
It was Gwen's idea, so
Yeah.
Gwen definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one. Mina
Yeah.
has one. I don't know. I think most of us got them.
Yeah.
I don't think Aminata did, because Aminata is invisible all the time. So bitch doesn't
The
need
ring,
it.
with the PowerPoints.
Oh, that's what
Did
it
we buy
was.
one for
That's
Paulina?
what,
Or
that,
Paulina, I think,
yeah,
got one as
Justine
well,
got one
yeah.
as well. Yeah, it was because your ring is so legendarily powerful that
Mhm.
you'll need to go up a couple more levels before you can get any other cool magic items that will work. That's what
Okay.
it was. Yeah,
Fair,
yeah,
fair.
it was
Fair
like,
enough.
yeah, it's a legendary magical item you have. So yeah, because that legendary magic items is 6 power points, and you just hit 7th level. So yeah, it's gonna be a while. Unless you want to give someone else.
I
the
mean,
ring.
it's just really admiring her bracelet. It's like, oh, it's so lovely. I like this. This is nice.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Right. So, as I said, the building is quite it's a good 12, 13 meters across, and it goes back a good bit. There's like large, very fine bay-like windows into what would have been very fine rooms of big, big set of double. Like this, like, I know that they said this guy was a doctor, but he must have, even for a doctor, come from money. This was a very, very fancy house, much more fancy than a standard doctor would have.
So what are we
Bougie,
thinking? We scout ahead, or
I suppose. Hang on a second.
We
If
should stay together. It's a big house.
if everyone would be more comfortable, I could don the ring and maybe go in, try to detect any traps and secrets, and then come back out.
Alone?
Let's say, let's
Alone.
send Anklagon with you, just so that I could see if something happens to you.
He won't see me. That's the problem.
True.
Put it on your shoulder.
he'll see if something happens, though.
True.
Okay. I won't go far. I'll just go to the end. I'll wait right at the entrance just to see that nothing will happen as soon as we step over the threshold. Okay?
Have him sit on your shoulder so the Sting can see like what you see, kind of, do you know? Like it'll be Antlergod, but at least it's like from your kind of view. You know what I mean? Like,
He's also very warm and comfortable, so
At that, Amanada's going to like put out their hand for Anklagon, and as he gets there, Amanada's going to literally drape him like a little scarf around their neck, so he's nice and cozy, but also like he'll get a very good view of what's happening.
Okay, right. And you don the ring, and you and Anklagon disappear. Okay.
He's a cat scarf.
just in terms of game mechanics, if you were wearing the ring and you like grasp someone's hand, they don't turn invisible. But if you were carrying somebody in a piggyback and put on the ring, then they turn invisible. So that's why this is working. Anklagon also turns invisible.
Okay.
I thought we were just going to see a weird fucking floating dragon.
That's what I thought.
He does turn invisible.
I kind of thought like he could kind of camouflage as he goes along. It'll be fine, you know.
If he were to alight from you and then land back on you because he'd broken from the enchantment, he would then be visible on you. Okay, so it's just a technical thing. Okay.
Okay. I think Amanada would actually feel a lot more comfortable knowing that this is what would happen, because they were very worried about bringing Anklagon and him potentially being a very visible little target.
Yeah. Okay. So
and as opposed to we all kind of gasp and go like, he disappeared as well.
Yeah. So as I said, the front door is like burned and off its hinges, and you can see a like 1.5 meter wide hallway that comes straight down. It goes about like 4 or 5 meters down, and immediately you come into a grand foyer type space. Okay, so it's like almost like a big cross type junction. Okay, in front of you, there's kind of like the walls angle in, and they're offset wider than the hallway and angling in towards a grand staircase that goes up. To your right, you can see doors on the wall to the right, on the left. So a door on the right, which would lead into the front room that was on your right when you walked in, and then door on the left to the back room. And then also against that eastern wall, you see like broken glass and what is doors that lead into, and you did see from outside, kind of a glass house style conservatory that was on the side of the building. Okay. To the left, there is another set of doors on the left wall that would lead into the room that was in the front on your left walking in, and then another door on the right.
Right. Seeing how many doors there are, Amanada is just going to kind of hunker down and try to detect any traps.
Okay, so just give me a roll.
Well, to try and detect and disarm any traps. Okay. Okay, so that is a 14. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's a 14.
Like, you're not spotting any traps. This is like, oh, I'm sorry, the general state of the house, like, the house is in quite serious case of disrepair.
Yeah.
There was a extensive fire in this structure. You see scorch marks going up the walls. The stairs looks mostly intact, but the banisters had been burnt. The steps look to be fairly solid. You reckon you'd probably be safe going up the stairs. But like where there, as I said, where you see glass like for windows and the likes, that's all broken and it cracked in the heat and so forth. It's quite evident looking through the broken glass doors that would have led to the conservatory that the glass in there is shattered and there's vines growing into the conservatory section as well.
Okay. And would it be, since there was a fire, I'd assume it'd be easy to see any sort of like scuff marks in the soot or anything to see if people travel through.
Yeah, give me an awareness roll.
Cool. Okay, that was even better. So that is a... With my keen eyes?
Yep.
19.
You see footprints of animals, rodents and birds, and you do see, look to be maybe a few days old, footsteps of clearly a child.
And, okay, can I see where they're going?
They kind of are, it looks like they're going roughly towards the stairs, but then they disappear.
Just poof, gone?
Yeah.
Oh.
Poof, and they are gone.
Okay.
Like maybe about a meter or so from the foot of the stairs.
Okay. At that, Amanada's just going to go out and report what myself and Anklegon found.
Okay.
Okay, so could it be possible there were no other tracks when the tracks of the child disappeared?
Well, it just seemed as if the footsteps vanished about a meter away from the stairs. So
Could it be an illusion, do we think?
potentially, I never got that close, and I didn't.
That's smart. I'm glad that you didn't.
And I did not detect any traps, so to speak. But it is quite a new environment, and everything was very. It was all very. It's very bad in there. There's very evident that there was a terrible, terrible fire. So I think if we go in, we'll need to be
At that,
very
you
careful.
you see Sylvia kind of close her eyes, going, "Oh, fuck."
At that, Amanada
fire.
is going to kind of instinctively want to like touch Sylvia, but at the same time just kind of like second guess. So they'll like make a movement and then just stop. And say it seems safe and pretty much abandoned now. So we should all just proceed with caution, and if anyone decides we should go a certain way, I think it's best we should all go, because we don't know what's in there. I have a feeling there are many illusions, many secret entrances even possibly. So
I think so, yeah.
Justine, would you like Anklegon back? He's quite warm. But I'm okay to give him back to you.
He's just a baby.
He is such a baby.
Right. So the party is going back in, yes?
I love him so much.
So you have a choice. You get to the middle kind of grand foyer section where it forks off left, right, straight for the grand staircase. Are we going right? Are we going left? Are we going up the stairs?
I think if we're here to look for a child, we should follow the child's footsteps.
Well, as I said, the problem is they looked like they were going roughly in the direction of the stairs, but then about a meter and a half from the foot of the stairs, they just vanished.
Okay.
So it's not like you could see his foot had gone on the stairs. It's like before he'd gotten to the stairs, the footsteps vanished.
I think that maybe we should go as far as the footprints go, and maybe Justine, if you could cast detect magic and we see if there is something
I was
That's
yeah,
a
I was
very good
literally
idea.
about to suggest that.
Yeah, we're all thinking the same thing here.
Mm.
That's a very good idea.
Amanada is going to, because when they went out, they would have taken off the ring,
Yeah.
just so it wasn't a disembodied voice just speaking to everybody. So they're going to put the ring back on
know the
just to be prepared.
Okay, so you cast your spell. So the spell description is that if there's any active magic in the area in the form of active spells or magical items, the caster will know them. So just to be aware that this spell isn't the way that allows you to like detect fey creatures and the likes, you know, because their innate magic is not it's not the same, you know. So when you cast a spell, all you're getting is blips off of the various magic items that your friends have. Like you're immediately recognizing. You get there's a faint aura because there is an active spell on all of you from Sylvia's blessing, and then the various goblin purses, and you know the enchanted oil on Albert and on Amanada's guns, and so that's all you're detecting.
Bracelets.
Yeah, that's all you're detecting.
Okay.
Perhaps the child is hiding somewhere. It might be an idea to scour the ground floor and see what we can find and move our way up.
Okay. Yes, if we go through the ground floor systematically, it will make sense, just so we know we've covered all our bases before going upstairs. I'd probably say, question, in terms of this staircase, is it literally just a staircase that kind of, is there any way to go behind the staircase, or
No, like it's grand staircase that was built into the wall and then branches right
so
and
it's-
left.
okay, perfect.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
grand. So I'd say maybe
Scarlett O'Hara
let's go from
staircase.
left to
right.
right, and
So
then
yeah, cool.
back to center and up.
So if you go turning left, there's a doors to the left are like big doors, and then there's a smaller door to the right.
Before we go, Gwen will sit down on the ground and pull out her pendulum and iron filings. I will attempt to scry for the child and see what happens.
So the same thing happens as before, only now it's more detailed. You're getting a map forming of the estate and of the house, but not like of the interior structure of the house. And the spell keeps flickering. It's like it's there a minute and it's gone the next. So yeah, he's in here somewhere, but you're not sure where or why your spell can't cleanly locate him.
I am
Yeah.
wondering if
Very
maybe there
interesting.
is some sort of a pocket realm within this house. I don't know.
I was thinking that too. If it's not a portal, maybe some sort of pocket realm or something.
If there is fire, I will do my best, and I will try and do better than the last time.
Sylvia, there's no need to assure us. We know you always do your best, and that is a terrible thing that you went through. So please do not feel like you have to assure us. We know what you are capable of.
Yeah, but I don't want to put you in danger because I can't keep my head together.
I think
You know?
between all of us, we can look after each other and have faith that we will be able to look after each other, okay? That
Okay.
includes you.
Okay.
Mina, in true
trust you.
Teutonic fashion, just kind of, pats a hand on
They're there.
Sylvia's shoulder, kind of going, "You be all right."
Be grand, love. Be grand.
Yeah, the Teuton, being, emotional with the Prussian. It's like, right.
So awkward.
Like,
So
"You be all
are
right."
we going? There's a kind of a more standard sized door on the right, and then there's slightly bigger doors on the left. Which is it, right or left?
I think we should start with the closest ones.
They're like opposite each other. So I
Oh.
need a right or a left.
Systematically.
Left.
Okay, right. So going left, you come into what appeared to have been a living room. A number of fine couches line the edges of the room. What was once a beautiful low table in the center. There's burn marks running up the wall on either side of broken windows. where the curtains that once hung there caught light. The furnishing is all badly burned with the couches hollowed out. The central table is still standing but badly charged, looking like any weight on it would cause it to collapse. Cabinets once lined the walls on either side of the window, and ivy is growing through the windows into the room.
I have a question. Are there any footprints? Any footprints around?
No, you don't see any.
Cool. Okay.
Amanada is going to definitely try to detect any more traps, because they learned from the last time about not using this.
Okay. Right. So give me a roll.
My God, why am I so nervous? Like,
that is a 17.
No, you're not detecting any traps. Do you want to like? Is you're kind of standing at the door? Do you want to go in, walk around the room, examine it all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gwyn will take out her wand of blasting just to be sure.
Yeah, sure. Cool.
And Amanada is going to pick up debris and literally start fucking it around the room.
Okay. Starting randomly picking up bits of broken debris, throwing it around.
I'm wondering if I should turn into something like a bloodhound, see if I can catch a scent.
Ooh. Do
What do people think?
Yeah.
good idea.
But Amanada will want to pet you, which is not a good idea.
Yeah, we'd all want to pet you. Like, sorry,
That could be a
but
problem.
if you're okay with that, go ahead. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, all right. So I'm going to turn into a bloodhound.
Okay, you change into a bloodhound. Your nose immediately becomes overwhelmed with smell of like ash and charcoal.
And hang on, I have a very important question.
Oh,
Is it like a big bloodhound, or is it kind of like a basset hound?
Or maybe a beagle.
You know, with the ears on the ground, you kind of walk
I'm a
the smell
beagle.
towards their nose.
A beagle
I'm
just.
thinking, I'm thinking something like a basset hound.
Okay.
No.
Noise.
Beagles are just going to be dramatic and scream a lot.
So as I said, actually, I'll tell you what. Give me a fresh awareness roll, and I'm going to give you a +4 bonus to this on top of your normal
you'll see
stats.
when this happens, Sylvia's back and tops of her front paws are white.
Mhm.
Noise.
Okay.
So this is a
Sorry,
+5
Mina
to
will
roll.
just kind of.
Okay, that's a 19.
So
I
what?
switched out my dice.
So you don't. What you're overwhelmingly getting is a smell of charcoal. You know, of like the burnt remains of the house. But you also it's weird. You also get a kind of an earthy smell that, in a weird way, seems to remind you of the earthy smell that you would sometimes get in a graveyard.
Oh god. Okay, so Sylvia's what direction? Sylvia's going to start pawing at the ground and
Everywhere.
start
Everywhere.
Oh, fuck.
The dead are among us.
Spooky,
And I'm like, look at Sylvia. Oh my God, you're so
You see Sylvia kind of look at the rest of the group and go,
Who's the best girl? Who's the best girl?
What?
Oh my God, you're so cute.
And
Come here. Oh my God.
Amanada is going to like hunker down and just kind of speak to Sylvia and say, "Did you smell something that was unexpected?" Waiting.
Sylvia's going to nod.
Bark once for yes, twice for no.
Oh, we don't want barking. We don't want too much
I'm just gonna
noise.
nod. I'm just gonna nod my head. I can't cast cantrips or anything right now, so
Okay.
because I was gonna use lesser telepathy, actually can't. I forgot. I
Is-
can't even do that.
Is this something that is worrisome?
Oh.
Do you think magic may be involved?
Kind of shrug as much as I can.
Maybe.
Well, it wasn't a positive, so I'm gonna probably just discern that. Okay,
trying to-
that's a mixed result.
Could be. Maybe.
Can I try and make a noise like a ghost go woo?
That's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like a ghost. It sounds like a dog making a kind of a weird howl.
Amara's just going to like look at you and guess and be like,
oh my God, Sylvia!
like
you
a
see-
ghost.
Mm.
Oh, okay. A ghost. Okay, ghosts, dead people. Does it smell like dead people?
Can you see dead people?
I'm gonna kind of just look
Can
at
you
Gwen
smell
with this
dead people?
bitch, please.
We all know dogs can see dead people. I'm just
Okay.
saying.
Smells like dead people. Dead people smell like decomposition, dirt.
I'm gonna try, and there's no earth
You
or
know,
anything.
you can just shift back into your human form
Okay.
and have a
I'm loving
conversation.
this.
Like, instead of wasting this
I
time with
wanted
this.
to try. I wanted to try and spend as long as I could to if I catch a scent. But okay, yeah, fair enough.
You know, like,
It smells like the dead, like a graveyard. So earth and that kind of smell, but not like a garden. The way a graveyard would smell.
A cemetery dirt has a
And
very
not like a
particular
nice
smell.
graveyard, kind of like an
No,
abandoned,
it's-
horrible graveyard.
Well, it smells like somewhere where
Yeah.
there are many dead. So I think that we should just keep as we are, and it's also the smell of ash and the evidence of the fire.
Okay. Thank you. That was quite helpful. And just to check amongst, well, I suppose Amanado want to do a Fey lore, just a kind of quick little run through if there's anything around like dead magical creatures that pops up, or like anything to do with being dead, like just.
I think that we should go back to the stairs, the last place that we saw the footprints, and see what happens.
Oh, okay. So we're not going to clear the downstairs, no?
Well,
Yeah, maybe we should search every room just in case he's hiding somewhere.
Okay, we do that.
But we definitely
may
have to go
find-
back at the end if we can't find anything. And
Yeah. Okay, so we'll just clear the downstairs.
So,
Mina's just gonna kind of lean to Sylvia and say, like, "You're a very cute dog, by the way."
Dogs are cute. This has nothing to do with me.
Amanada is
really
going
cute dog.
to resist saying something about that.
so you just leave the living room. Do you just go to the other door?
What are you resisting saying?
I
Well,
was just gonna say you're cute in general, but then I didn't want Sylvia to think Amanada's gonna be hitting on them.
Trying to hit on her. Like,
It's like I can appreciate I have beautiful friends.
no, Mina's just being Mina, like, you know me.
Yeah, Amanada's still going to be picking up debris and just like throwing it in random places to see if anything gets kind of swallowed up and
Set
doesn't
off.
hit anything.
give me an awareness roll.
Alrighty.
That's why you're doing this. I was constantly wondering, Aminata, why are you throwing stuff around? That's very clever, actually.
I have my moments. So that is a 18 with keen eyes.
At one moment, a piece you throw up near where the broken windows are, and for a moment you swear you think you see one of the bits of ivy twitch.
I'm not even going to think twice about it. I'm gonna say straight away. I'm not gonna be like, that was just my eyes playing trick. No. I'm going to say I think I saw the ivy move.
Okay.
Amanada's going to throw another piece directly at the ivy this time.
You're not sure. Like, maybe it moved, or maybe you just hit against it and that caused it to move.
We will just keep moving, but keep an eye on the ivy, I think.
When we get into the other rooms, I'm going to like keep throwing, but I'll also try and hit the ivy again.
So, are you going into the door that was opposite to the one that you just went through?
Mhm.
So you come into this room. This room seems to have fared better in the fire. It's a large. It appears to be a kitchen area. So you've a large table towards the front of the kitchen, which is almost entirely intact. There's stone slab floor and tiled walls, which seems to have been part of what protected this room from the flames. Towards the back, that opens into large presses lining the walls. And and then there is another door leading out on the opposite wall out of the kitchen as well.
I think if we just keep to inside the house, not venture outside quite yet.
Agreed.
So if you go back towards the main kind of grand foyer area, as I said, on the opposite side of the house, there is 3 doors, one to the left, one to the right, and then one in front of you, leading out to the conservatory.
Ooh, are there any plants growing in the conservatory, or is it
You
just?
can see it's overgrown with ivy as well.
Okay.
Aminata is going to throw a big piece of debris.
Well, you'd need to go in there first
Mina
because
is
it's a
keeping
good
an eye on it like a
4 or
hawk.
5 meters away from you.
5 meters away.
You're in the
can't-
middle of a foyer, so like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll move closer.
Yeah, sure.
I am still invisible, so I'm hoping this will protect me somehow.
We'll see.
And another fresh awareness roll.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, not 20. That's a 23.
Good one.
Yeah, you think you see some twitching of movement from the ivy here as well.
Mm.
And I'm going to say, do not go anywhere near the ivy. Plants, when hit with debris, moves in a very particular way. That did not seem wholly natural.
Oh yeah, but I think there's probably very little about this place that is natural.
Good point. Good point.
Ladies, I am starting to be creeped out. Honestly, I feel really kind of.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Mina. And Gwen goes up to Mina and just conjures a little ball of fire. If it comes near us, we will kill it with fire.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I hit it with Albert, but like, should we maybe try talking to whatever is here?
There's other doors to the left and to the right, apart from the conservatory.
We should try and clear the other rooms. We'll leave.
I agree.
We'll leave the conservatory, and then we'll decide whether we want to, I don't know, peek a little head in there. But I don't want to get too close to it.
Yeah. I think we need to keep ourselves as safe as possible because we need to put all of our energy into finding this boy.
So left or right?
I mean, it's grabbing inside her shirt and pulling out her.
Okay.
We're going left or right?
So I think you said left. So you open the door to the left and it leads into a very large room. Okay, this room is like a good 6 meters long. It has a kind of an angled corner at one point as if the corner was cut off. This matches with the angled walls that lead into the grand staircase. And it's a good 4 meters wide. It was a fine dining room. Wood molding once decorated the walls of the room, but it's all been destroyed in the fire. 2 large sets of windows look out into the grounds. Both sets of glass broken, with the walls scorched where the curtains would have hung and had been caught alight. A once fine dining table over 4 meters long runs the length of this room, badly burned with most of the chairs leaving behind stumps with the legs and the middle of the table is caved in. There's a beautiful set of chandeliers above the table that have been destroyed, with the glass that adorned it scattered and shattered across the room. The room is darkly lit with quite a number of shadows. And there is ivy coming in through the windows.
Ooh.
I will
take shadows. Are there any creepy moving shadows?
I don't know. Do you want to go closer and see if you get a better look?
Yeah, because in the back of Gwen's mind, she's thinking there may be, if it is mundane, there may be a body somewhere. So I'll put on my cool glasses to let me see in the dark and just gently venture in.
So you go into the room, getting a bit closer, okay? Did the rest of you follow Gwen?
Yeah.
Gwen
with her Gary Oldman glasses.
So you venture further into the room, looking around, looking more closely. Do people want to give me awareness rolls?
Yep.
Yeah.
Aminata will want to detect any traps.
Okay, I rolled
that's much better.
Mina is too scared. I rolled a 1.
19 total.
That's a dirty 20.
16.
You don't detect any traps.
Sorry?
Let's just say
No.
my
No
no
traps.
traps. That's
So
well good,
you're
but like
so
you know.
you're going and you're looking around the room, okay, and it is empty,
Mm.
or it was, because now in one corner you see a figure.
Oh.
They're a white, grayish coloring to them. It doesn't look right. Turning off to the side as they turn towards you, you see a man. Looks to be in his late 40s, well dressed, but with a cruel, almost evil look on his face as he glowers at you all and takes a step forward, his jaw extending out as he lets out a terrifying keen. I need every
Oh,
one of
shit,
you
shit.
to please give me a resolve courage roll.
I have that. Yes.
Yes, you do.
Okay, not bad. Not bad at all.
Okay, okay.
That's an 18 for me.
Okay.
Oh, that's a
21
24
Gwen.
for me.
Oh.
I rolled a nat fucking 20.
Okay.
Oh,
And
nice.
We're
Justine,
rolling well.
what did you get?
Which is
5.
Oh no!
Wait, you
20
got
So-
what?
total.
5.
Right. So, the target number was only a 15. However, so you feel this, you hear this terrifying scream that just seems to like clasp at your very heart for a moment. Everybody but Justine freezes for a second and brushes it off. Justine, you are filled with terror. Okay, you must move as far from him as you can. Use your 2 minor actions to move away, and will suffer a -5 penalty to anything you're doing. But you can give me a fresh test at the start of each turn. As he sweeps towards you all, I need you to roll initiative.
Let's
Oh, well, that was terrible.
go!
Oh no.
That is a dirty 20.
Yes.
I got a 12. But you know what? As caster, I don't really want to go first anyway.
I got
so
a
that's
dirty
fine.
22.
What have I got? Dex, quick reflexes. So that is.
Yeah, quick
a
question.
12.
Yeah,
I increased my dex. Should my initiative has gone
yeah,
up?
go up as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
by an additional +1.
Oh, then in that case, I have a 22.
Okay, and Justine,
8.
which is appropriate because you're frozen in terror.
Yes.
Okay. So first to act is Mina.
Yes,
This
because-
figure, this spectral form is sweeping towards you. He hasn't gotten to you yet. He's about maybe 3-4 meters from you. So if you want to close on him, it will cost you a minor action.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, Mina was creeped out because she felt, you know, there was something there, but couldn't see it. Now she has a target, and she's like, "Great, I have something I can fucking hit." And she just like, "Fuck you, you're just a man." And Albert tries in her hand
I love the
Closes
Quinn's
in.
rubbing off on Mina.
and just goes, whack.
Okay. Don't forget, you now at 7th level have 2 attacks per turn.
Yeah, noise. And I'll
Nice.
do that. I'll go whack whack. Now let
Whack,
me
whack.
see, where is my favorite weapon?
Yep,
Oh my
yep,
god, +7. That's ridiculous. Okay, hang on. Okay, I rolled a 16 plus 7 is how much is that?
23.
20.
That's a hit.
Thank you.
Roll for the second attack.
And
Just roll for the
yes.
second attack first of all.
did it cost me 1 minor? Ah, no, I'll keep 1 minor action, I think. Oh, 15, so 22.
So both hit. So roll for damage.
Yes. D12, fuck's sake. Where the fuck?
1d12 plus 5.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Where's my fucking D12? Is this a D12? Sorry, I can't see, lad.
Relatable.
Yes, that's a D12. Fuck's sake.
Those of us who took our glasses off for our costume.
Whoa, that's ridiculous. 7 7 plus 5 is 30?
13, yeah.
No, 12.
12.
No.
7
Oh,
plus
yes.
5 is 12. And then
It
for the
is.
second, attack.
Oh yeah, maybe it's my second language. I have to kind of translate my.
Yeah, no, that's very normal.
Then I'm fucking wrecked. And 11 plus 5 is
16.
16.
sorry, 16. Thank you. It's fucking.
We
Okay.
can't see and we can't do maths.
Aminata, it is
I
your turn.
can't see.
I
I always fuck up math anyway. What can I say? But like
is
in the evening after a full day work, it's kind of like, what?
So, what do you do?
true. Amanada's going to Arcane Shard.
Okay.
Oh,
So, roll to attack,
Nice.
and it is a +2 to your attack modifier.
don't forget silver bullets, Respector.
Yes.
And you also have enchanted bullets as well.
Wait,
You did have some +1 bullets as well, as far as I remember.
I have sure shot.
Yeah, they're like +1
Yeah.
bullets.
Okay.
Nice.
And count as magical.
Yeah, because they
Yes.
Nice.
are. But you're using an arcane shard for this turn, so roll to attack, and it's a +2 to the attack, because that is
Okay.
your magic score.
So that is a 17.
Total?
Yeah.
That is a hit. So it is 1d4 +2.
Do, 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 do. 5.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, Gwyn, it is your turn. Sylvie, you're on deck.
I am going to cast a circle of warding around us all.
Okay.
So allies of the witch who attempt an ability test to resist magic gain a benefit of, I'm rounding down 2, right? So it's half my magic, which is 5.
Yeah.
Round 2. So you can add a +2.
Nice.
Yeah, cool, right. So
How
that's
far does the circle go? Is
that's,
Justine still in the circle?
it is
I'll tell you now. It is 3 meters.
1 meter per magic.
Nice.
Okay, so as long as you stay, so Mina would be
Okay,
just
so it's
out.
5 meters.
So I think
5 meters.
No, Mina, you're just barely inside it. I think.
How about Justine?
Everybody, because you're the only one who moved.
All right, cool.
I thought Justine used 2 minor actions to move.
Oh well, sorry. Justine is. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Justine. Well, it's on her turn. On her turn, she will be moving
Out of the circle. Okay.
So you will be out of the circle on your turn.
But she can cast a resolve before she does that.
Well, technically, just because of the way it worked, in that it happened out of turn, I'm going to say next turn you get your first test. You know, because your first initiative turn, we're seeing the effect of the failed roll. You know what I mean?
I'm just wondering if she gets the benefit of the +2. You know.
Well, we'll see what happens. Okay. So Gwyn, that is basic because it's a major and a minor for that because you had to pull out your hazel wand for that, different to your wand of blasting. So pull out your hazel wand and cast your circle of warding. You have 1 minor action free if you want to use it, and don't forget all your amulets. Okay.
Yeah, they're all on me
Okay.
and around me. I'll hold the minor action just in case.
Sylvia, it is your turn, and Justine, you're on deck.
I'm going to cast
I rolled
bark skin on Justine.
Yes, you do.
That's an extra 16 grip points. It's caster's level plus.
Yeah, 16 grid. Cool. Okay. So that's your major action, isn't it?
My minor action, I would like to cast Bless on Mina.
Oh, thank you.
Lesser bless, yes?
Lesser Bless, yes.
Okay.
So that's a +3 that you get to use at any time.
Yes. Okay. Right. Justine, it is your turn. So you spend your 2 minor actions going your full movement, which basically brings you out of the living room, out of the dining room into the hall of the foyer. Okay. You can, if you want, try to cast a spell. Wait, although I think he's outside your range now. You've got a movement of, he's outside your range, unfortunately.
Okay. Let me see what I can do. Boom, 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 boom. I don't think I can do anything, to be honest with you.
And the only thing I can think of that you could possibly do is cast Stone Shield on yourself to increase your defense.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Very fair.
that increases your defense by 2. Okay, but that's it. Now, at the start of your next turn, you will start the turn by rolling your resolve to see if you can break the frightened state, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to make you give me a magic roll on this. If you were casting a spell on this spectre, you would need to give me a magic casting roll at disadvantage to see if you can successfully cast a spell. But this was on yourself, so it's okay. So it is now the ghost's turn.
Oh, is that because it's a ghost? Like,
it is a spectre. So he is engaged with you, Mina. So he is going to attack.
yes, he is.
He's clawing at you with his ethereal hands. That was cocked, which is a shame because it was a good roll. 17. Oh, sorry. 16 to hit.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
I knew,
your defense is up too, hon.
Yeah,
I knew defense 17.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Nice.
And the next one, I think that's 17.
Can I parry? And I'm asking especially because it's a spectre.
I'm going to say
Like, I'm using Albert, but I'm just asking if it works or not.
Because Albert has been coated in the oil of sharpening, which classifies him as a magic weapon for the purpose of fighting creatures like specters, I'm going to say I'll allow it because of that enchantment that's on the blade. Because you would be parrying with the blade.
Yeah. But I was just, you know what I mean? I wanted to ask, and I mean, like, I would have totally accepted if you said, oh, no, well,
if he was mundane, if Albert didn't have that oil on him, I would be like,
if he was mundane, I don't think I would have hit him in the first place, wouldn't it?
Well, we don't know. He still has a bit of silver on him as well.
He could be some sort of weird.
So what you do is, so you use your reaction, because you have the parrying skill, don't you? So what level have you got that at? Is it plus
2
intermediate?
Plus, like, I think it's my fighting skill, which is a 3, so it gives me a plus
your skill
5.
and your skill in the weapon you're trained in, plus your parrying skill. So you have
plus 5.
So it's plus 5 to the roll, which does bring your defense up to 22. So he's clawing at you. The first one misses. The second one would hit, but what happens is Albert comes around and you like parry it on the flat of the blade of the Albert.
Oh boy, Albert.
He's pretty pissed at this. He is very pissed at that. But anyway, we are at the top of the initiative order. So, Mina, it is your turn.
It's my turn, yeah. Bloody hell. Okay, cool. Let me see. Come on, Mama needs a good one. Oh shit! I only rolled a 6 plus 7 is what is that?
That's a 13. That's a miss.
But you've got another attack.
You do have a second attack.
You've got this.
I do. I do.
If you wanted to, you could.
Oh, 14
total.
Plus 14 plus 7 is
21. So
21.
that is a hit.
Yes.
So roll for damage.
Oh shit! No, I should have said it before. Never mind.
You didn't now.
8 plus what is it again? 5.
5. Yes.
13.
13.
Thank you.
Okay. You still have 2 minor actions, so you, in theory, you could parry 2 attacks from him on your on this turn.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which I might need it.
Aminata, it's your go. Gwyn, you're on deck.
Okie dokie. Aminata is going to want to quick attack with their revolvers.
Okay.
Yes.
Which bullets are you using out of curiosity? The sure shot or the silver?
I will use my silver because I do not have a lot of well, I have sure shots, but I don't use them all. Okay. And now I just lost my dice.
No!
It just fell and I can't see.
None of us can see.
Pull up a random dice roller.
I think,
It's not
Neve,
the
are you the only one who
same.
can actually see?
I can see
Right,
as well.
Yeah, I'm the
Found it.
opposite to all of you.
I
Yeah,
have
my
excellent
long distance
vision.
does not exist.
I have
Yeah,
excellent.
because you're not putting your goggles. Yeah. You can actually see as well. Like, yeah.
These I can
Jesus
see
Christ.
through these, but they're just hurting my eyes. But I have like I don't know, but near 20/20
Yeah, I
vision.
know. Fuck off with your perfect vision. Like, we're all blind here.
Okay, so that is an
Hmm.
18 plus 5.
Are you
is
invisible?
23. Yes.
Okay, so you get the bonus to that as well.
Yeah. Nice. Well, it wouldn't count as I just get a bonus for defense
Where are
and
we?
against
Ring.
attack to me.
Would it be surprise attack then, wouldn't it? Or
Oh, every attack
What
is a
was
sneak
that?
attack.
Sorry, yeah, it's a bonus to your
Sneak attack,
defense.
there you go.
But it does count. That's what I mean. It does count a sneak attack.
I'm gonna sneaky. Oh, so that's an additional
Yeah,
2,
you
so that's
bastard.
25.
And your assassin feature, you get the additional d6.
Come on.
Remember, you get the extra. Where is it? No, I'm looking at the wrong character sheet. Because you have beginner in
Nice.
assassin. It's an extra 1d6 plus 1 to your first successful attack
That's
against the
what
target
against
and sneak
target.
attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I love it.
I like it.
So
Okay.
you'll get this on your first attack, but not on the second attack
Second
that you
attack.
get from your quick
There.
attack feat. So what's
Yeah,
your
that's
total?
grand.
What's your total damage from that?
So that is, hold on a second. So that's 1d8. So that's 5 plus 2, 7, and 1d6
Plus 1.
plus 1. That is another 7. So 14.
14.
14.
Okay,
Nice.
right. Okay, and the silver bullet does appear to affect his incorporeal form. So you have a second attack. I'm going to say this still counts as sneak attack because you're fucking invisible, but you don't get the assassin rogue skill addition.
Okay, so that is just going to be a... Do I have to roll again to hit with the second attack as well?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Okay, so that is a... That is still a 19.
That's a hit, so roll for damage.
That's only a 5.
Okay.
Every little helps.
Gwyn, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to use my Amulet of Protection to roll for the Ready Defense feat.
Oh yeah, okay. So what are you doing, like, as your major action with the feat?
As my major action, I'm going to use Firebolt.
Okay, right.
So
you
you
have to give me a magic roll.
Okay.
That's a first level spell, isn't it?
It is a first level spell.
Yeah, okay. So
that's 1d4 plus magic.
Mhm.
And I'm going to use 2d4s. I'm going to pump it up a bit. So that is a 3 and a 2.
What did you roll? You have to roll your d20 first to see if you get the feat.
Ah. That is a 5.
So you cast a spell, no problem, but unfortunately the feat doesn't activate.
Grand.
Okay, but
So
he does get a dex roll against it.
Yeah.
Not a
Otherwise,
fail. I rolled a 9.
10 points of magic damage, fire damage.
10 points of fire damage. I only rolled like a 9 or something, so that you do
No.
blast him. Okay, you still have a minor actions free. Just remember that. Okay.
Yeah, I'll save that. Yeah.
Sylvia, it's your go. Justine, you are on deck.
Okay, I would like to cast Stone Bullet, and I'd like to do 3d4, but because it's my favorite sphere, I only spend 4 mana.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone still gets a +2 against any unnatural attacks from the magic circle.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 2. Is that to defense or?
It's a 2-year test versus a magic effect.
Oh, versus an effect.
Cool.
Okay, cool. I'm fucking so blind. This is horrendously bad. Sorry. Why is there no
Happy hair.
Okay, 3. Right. Okay, sorry, hang on a second. That's 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 4 is 12.
Very good. Okay. Are you doing up your minor actions, or are you just saving them?
I'd like to save because I have defensive stuff that I can do.
Okay.
So I want to.
Cool. So, Justine, give me a fresh resolve courage roll, please.
It's hit the side of my laptop, so I'm going to reroll.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's 8. I rolled 8, but also I have some modifiers. So I have +2 to resolve, and I also have arcane resistance. That's +1, but that's still not enough.
No, it's courage is what you need for this, not arcane resistance. Unfortunately, you are still frightened. So, just give me one moment here. I want to read these.
Don't worry, Paulina. That happened to me in campaign 1.
Yeah.
Oh, that fucking Abby! It happened to me
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
You and I were both
Constantly.
running
I
away for
couldn't
the
break it.
entirety
I
of
was
the
like,
fight.
So yeah, unfortunately, you are still frozen in terror, unable to move, and you can't bring yourself closer so that he would be in your spell range effect to even try anything. Is there any? I'm just looking at your character sheet now. Yeah, there's what you could do potentially. So everybody bar Mina is within 10 meters of you. So if something happened to one of them, you could use a reaction to cast Lesser Blink. But at the moment, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah. Well, I could potentially cast Greater Blink, but why would I?
Yeah, you know what I mean, okay.
Yeah.
So it is now the Spectre's go, and he's still engaged with you, Mina. But the first thing he's going to do is let out another terrifying keen. Now, I just want to check something here, though. Oh, actually, he does it, but because you all passed the roll, bar Justine, you are immune to its effect.
Oh, yeah.
And when he sees this has no effect, he seems to become even more enraged. So he's going to attack you, Mina, with a fury now. Oh, that was a terrible roll.
Narcissist. Yep.
Only a 14. And second one, 21.
I parry.
What did we say your parry bonus comes up to?
22.
It's +7, isn't it? Or +5. Yeah. So yet again, you miss first, and you parry with the second one.
Just my hair, but still.
Hey, look, fighters are the simplest of the classes in this game, but have the most
bloody love it. Like, I don't have
customization, the coolest shit
I
that they
don't have
could. Yeah.
to go through my book of spells and kind of think like, oh shit, what am I going to cast? No, it's amazing. I just see shit and I hit it.
Well, you've got all this cool stuff that you're bringing in now, like you're being able to parry attacks and do quick attacks, and so it's great. So we're at the top of the initiative order. Mina, it is your turn.
Cool. I'm just going to hit him again, and this time I want to try for the quick attack, please.
Yes. Okay. So roll to attack.
Come on. Oh, 19 plus, what was it, 7?
That's a hit and activates the feat. So roll for your other 2 attacks for me.
Nice. 16 plus 7.
Hit.
Oh, not 20.
Oh, okay. So we'll roll the damage for the first 2 first.
Yes. Okay, I got... that's only a 4 plus 5, so that's a 9.
Okay.
9.
Okay.
And, a 12 plus 5 is, what is that? 17. Okay, and now it's the nat 20.
So, as you're landing these strikes on him, you see his form beginning to change. Where it was like a grayish, almost translucent, incorporeal form, now his form is changing and his skin is blackening and his clothing is charring as if he is in a fire.
Oh, God.
As if his form is changing to what it was in the moments before he died. So
Yikes.
you, for your nat 20,
Creepy as shite.
you
Yeah.
do 17 plus 1d12. Because
Okay,
it's
so I roll
max
another
damage
d12. Yeah.
plus the damage die again, and Albert does 1d12 plus 5
Yes.
because he is a big boy. So
8 plus 5
17.
is
No, it's 8. It's 8 plus the 17. So that is 25.
8 plus 17.
25.
So that's
25 points.
fucking points of damage.
So, Mina,
Yeah.
describe
Describe
your
a
finishing
blow.
move.
Oh, nice. So I just whack him, right, twice. As he described, I see his form change, and I'm just like, "Ugh." And I just kind of go and want to. Have you guys seen what is it called? Rob Roy, I think, with Liam Neeson.
Oh, such
When
a
he
great
just
movie.
goes, slices your man in half, like diagonally. So
Tim
that's
Roth,
what she
yeah.
does. She just goes.
Tim Roth, yeah.
Oh.
So good.
So you strike him once, his form starts to shift and change. You strike him a second time, he's looking like he's in a fire, as if he's being pulled back to that moment before he died. And with your last strike, as you cut down, cleaving through his body, entering at the neck and coming down and causing a wrench to appear to his form. And you see him screaming at you with this soundless shriek, and his face full of hatred as your halberd cuts through him, and his form like just starts to break apart and tear up into flames of shadow and disappears.
Ooh, let's go. Easy
Ooh.
mode. We got this.
Mina's literally like, "Bleh."
All right.
I'm gonna need you to knock on everything that's wood around you.
And you
All
see,
right.
having seen this spectre destroyed by your friend, the fear effect has dropped.
Aminata is going to rush over to Justine because they wouldn't have been able to really do anything in the middle
Yeah.
of the fight, and just say,
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I just had this sudden fear. I didn't feel like I could do anything. It was horrible. I'm so sorry. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. Look,
There's no need to apologize.
This has happened to me, Justine. I understand. how it
Aminata.
is.
Oh, sorry.
No, just Sylvia just say, look, I understand how it is to be frozen and not able to act out of fear, and don't blame yourself, okay? I am the same when fire appears around, so don't blame yourself.
Thank you. Justine is going to say out loud, but think that Sylvia has a reason to be afraid of fire. I am just a fucking coward.
Well, on that
No.
note, Aminata is going to try and do a failure check just to be like, actually, what you heard was designed to make you feel exactly that way. So you're
Well,
not a coward.
Gimme, that's an intellect roll.
Oh, and I am not a smart cookie.
You're
I'm
slightly
a
above
grand.
average.
cookie. You're like,
You're fine.
Oh, actually, I might be fine. That was a 16.
So
Oh,
you
and with my failure, that's a 18.
18. Okay, so with that roll, I say you do know that specters and restless souls have been known sometimes because of their unnatural and unearthly form to fill even the strongest of hearts with just terror, as if literally they're being gripped by the chill of the grave itself. And you explaining this to Justine.
I have seen very big and strong men freeze in fear on the battlefield. It happens.
So,
Thank you.
where do you want to go now? There was another door opposite this one. And I will say you're noticing now that having defeated this spectre, it's still obviously dark, it's nighttime, but the shadows don't seem as thick as they were when you entered this room.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we're not going to go into the conservatory just yet anyway, so we're going to go into the door that had been on the right of the
So
conservatory.
yeah, the other room, it's what was a once fine room that was clearly designed to allow one to rest in luxury. Cabinets running along one side, which looked like they had fine glassware, which has been destroyed. The remnants of a pianoforte in one corner, now a charred wreck. The remains of a large couch on one side facing a fireplace with two lounge chairs also facing it. And on the other side is a small table with the remains of a set of four chairs. This looks like it was probably some sort of a drawing room that people would withdraw to after a meal, you know?
Mhm.
It's mostly being destroyed. Similarly, the windows are all broken and ivy creeping in through where the windows are broken.
Amanada's going to throw more pebbles.
Give me an awareness roll.
That is a 19.
You hit them, they bounce off the ivy. It
God.
doesn't seem to have any effect.
They bounce off
Like-
the ivy. They
Like
don't
they
get
just, like,
middle.
you know, they just
Yeah.
hit it and bounce because
Like normal,
yeah, normal.
like normal ivy would.
Yeah.
Normally.
Ivy's very springy.
It is.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
it's
very,
not
very,
kind of
it's
weird
very
creepy
springy.
shit.
Yeah. So there doesn't appear to be anything else in this room. And with that awareness roll, I'm going to say you don't detect any traps either. Okay.
That's going to
Okay.
be the next thing I said. Okay, cool.
Okay. So, I mean, the only other place you could go into is the overgrown conservatory. You appear to have
Okay.
and
I
there
think
was,
we
and
should-
there was the doors leading out at the back of the kitchen towards the back of the building. So, do you want to go upstairs?
Yes.
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 Okay, right. So we go up the stairs. So the stairs kind of comes up and branches off. Okay, or like not branches off, but branches like right and left. Okay, up onto like a landing space. Okay, it's a long landing space. Are you going to go right or are you going to go left at the top of the stairs?
Do we go
Right.
left again and then right?
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Okay, keep
you
going
go
left
left and you see like two sets of doors, and then it continues on, and then it branches like off, like across the way. So you've got like where the landing rails would look over the space of the foyer as well, and there's another door. There's other doors like on the ends, and there's like another corridor that leads down, separating what looks like two rooms at the far end towards the front of the house. But where on the left side that you went up, there's like two doors leading in to your right.
Systematically go to every.
So yeah, you open the first door and it leads into a very large room. Like you can see this, the other door up ahead of you also led into this room. It was clearly a library, once filled with books. They've been pretty much all destroyed. You can try and have a look, see if you'd spot anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
my aunt would be so distraught if she saw a library.
Yeah,
in
this
room.
is awareness, but this is going to be this won't be keen eyes. This would be an investigation roll. So, or like Amanada with your rogue skills that you could add them as well. But
Are there footprints up here?
you don't spot any.
Okay.
Okay.
Gwen is going to transform into her cat form
Mhm.
to be a bit more agile and sneaky
Yes.
because I'm little black cat can blend in a bit better, I think.
Oh, and sense and smell wise.
You're getting the exact same smells that Sylvia described in her Bassettown form of mostly charcoal ash and it's not very strong now, but an earthy kind of smell that reminds you of a graveyard. But it's quite faint and it appears to be fading.
Okay.
So does anybody want to give me awareness rolls in this library?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Yeah, I only rolled a
that
5.
is a
Mina
7.
doesn't see shit.
No,
That's a 17 from me.
no,
I rolled.
yeah,
19
everybody.
keen eyes.
No. Justine?
I rolled shit.
Oh
4.
no. Oh no. You're not having a good night.
Welcome to the single digit
Yeah.
club.
Oh god.
So you find
Yeah.
nothing.
See, I swapped out my dice before we started
Yeah.
the stream because I
So,
get bit
all
horrendous.
of the books appear to be destroyed in the fire. Okay, so coming out, if you continue down, there's like the hall kind of comes out across, so that you've got like the balcony railing looking down over the foyer and where the grand staircase should come. And there's a door in front of you, then a hall. The hall continues down, and then a door to another room a bit further down. Okay, so if you want to open the door in front of you,
Yeah.
what looks to have once been a very fine bedroom, very exquisite bed and other fine furniture. In one corner is a large bathtub, badly destroyed by the fire. Very masculine. What remains of the decor is very masculine kind of decor. There's the remnants of some animal head on a wall. You assume this was probably the bedroom of the doctor of the house. You don't see any signs of any feminine effects in this room. It's a very masculine energy in this room, but it's been badly damaged and actually this room is the most badly damaged room that you've been in so far, suggesting that maybe
the fire started here.
Probably started there,
yeah.
Can we do a quick investigation check to see if there was anything obvious?
Yeah, absolutely.
Catherine, are you hissing at the masculine energy? Are you?
Oh yeah, Gwen's just wilting in all the masculine energy in this room, so she rolls shit at 12.
Aminata will try to see.
I rolled a 17. Hang on. Which is what the fuck is my awareness? Oh, great, 18. Am I getting anything?
No.
Yeah, Aminata rolled.
There doesn't appear to be any. This, as I said, this room is the most badly damaged by the fire. You're pretty sure this is where the fire started.
The fire started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is anyone else thinking? Is anyone else hearing fire starter in their head right now?
Oh,
yeah, absolutely, totally.
So, if you want to come out,
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
If you guys want to come out, and as I said, there's like the hall kind of branched out into what would have been a very fine window that would have looked out to the front grounds, broken in the flames, and then the landing kind of goes left. But also go straight, and there's a door to your immediate right. Okay, so if you open that one, this room looks similar to the one you were in before, but this one is much more feminine. This was clearly the bedroom of Madame Duchamay, the wife of the doctor. Okay.
This family, these two, did they have any children?
You weren't told that there was any children, no.
Okay.
And they didn't share a room.
Well, that was
that was the done thing in the
it depends. Like, it also depends on. Remember, we're in France, not England.
Yeah, that's what.
True.
Yeah, so this would be like in France, Italy, Spain. You'd normally share a room with your
spouse.
That's what spouse. You know, England, maybe the more puritanical parts of Scotland.
Really did, you had a
so
master
anyway,
of the house and the lady of the house.
So
room,
but don't forget, this guy was a doctor. He clearly must have come from some inherited wealth, because this was like more than your standard doctor would have.
He got money.
He got money.
So, do you just want to give me some fresh rolls? Some fresh awareness rolls. Yeah, cool.
Okay.
I might turn into.
I rolled a 1.
That was a 30-20.
I might do the whole doggo thing.
Yeah, okay.
And
Gwen, are you still in cat form?
I'm still a cat.
Oh shit, I only rolled a 3.
Okay, but look, with that nat 20, I'm going to say what you do find. Look around, there's not much. You know, there's broken bottles where there was once clearly perfumes and the likes. There's the remnants of what was a brush, shattered mirrors and the likes. But
it's not quite badly broken as as Monsieur's bedroom, yeah.
Like it was badly affected by the fire, but more in keeping with the fire that you saw in the other rooms of experience.
The rest of the house, yeah.
You do, however, looking along on the side tables, find pulling out a ledger of some sort, badly burned. But opening it up, you see bits of handwriting here and there, and it appears to be a journal or a diary.
I am taking that.
So there's most of it's like badly destroyed, but you do find a small fragment, and which it says like,
read it, Aminata.
He was so charming to my father when he courted me, but my life is a living hell.
Oh, did she kill him? I hope so.
He is
Tragic.
truly a monster. We have been wed over a year. I have still not produced a child, and he blames me for it. Though I know
Of course he
none of
does.
his many mistresses have ever given him a child either.
Oh,
Truth be told, if I was blessed with a babe, I would not wish to raise them in this hell.
Ooh,
ooh.
the poor woman.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm glad Mina like cleaved his spectre ass.
Yes. So,
You reading that out loud and me?
Oh yeah,
totally saying,
absolutely.
like,
yeah.
what a
So,
bastard.
Reading it out loud with
Bloody deserves
commentary.
it. I hope he's in hell.
Well, you know, burning alive, I think that's a fitting punishment.
Unfortunately, she probably did as well.
so
Well, if his ghost stalk these
Yeah.
halls, we may bestow that honor upon him a second time.
do you,
Exactly. He could
if you come out
burn
of,
in hell now.
so if you come out of that room, there's like wall along the other side. There's like 3 doors. One like pretty much immediately where you are, and then another one about 2 meters down, and another one about like 4 meters down.
We'll go from closest to
Yeah.
furthest.
So opening the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah.
it opens into a narrow corridor and a set of stairs that are leading upstairs.
Ooh, scary attic.
Attic?
Yay!
Ah.
My,
Yeah.
my
Oh yeah, we have to
favorite.
investigate this. Like, are the stairs?
So-
Do they look kind of
Go
okay? I don't want
They
to bloody
look
fall.
okay. It's weird, as I said. The roof is fairly intact, which is really weird. But you know, who knows?
How long ago was this whole thing?
You can't remember. You think that the
Yeah,
guy
was there a
Antoine
date in the
said,
diary? No.
"Oh no!" Like it was literally a fragment of a
Yeah.
page. The
No.
guy who'd asked you, Antoine, he'd said that it was like I think you can't remember. You think he was either said it was 50 or 60 years ago. Like it wasn't like
A
ancient
while.
past, but it was a while ago. It was a couple of decades ago. Like you know.
Okay.
So right, heading up the stairs.
How does it smell up here? Because I'm still.
It's the same kind
for-
of musty or ashy kind of smell. Okay.
Okay.
So, Helena, so Gwyn and Justine are human, and everyone else is spicy human. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm human.
We're spicy.
Oh, you're human as well.
Human,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. Okay, so, Gwyn, you can see fine in your fabulous glasses.
Well, I suppose I'm a cat, so I probably have.
Well, if you're in cat, then you can
Night
see.
vision
You can
anyway.
see. Well,
They see very good.
you
in
see
the
very
dark.
well in the dark.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you in a dog form?
Yeah.
Dogs actually have very good night vision as well. Not
They
as good
do.
as cats, but
Mm.
it's actually
They do.
exceptionally good. Way better than the humans. Okay. So
I know
Oh, yeah.
this because I have no night vision, and it means
And
I can
Naga
walk
does.
Naga in the dark, and Naga can see fine. I can't, but I know she's fine.
so unfortunately, Justine, you're having a bit, but I think you do have a fairy globe that you have on you that you're able to take out.
I do
yeah.
have fairy globe, yeah.
Yeah. So you have your fairy globe out, and the rest
And
of
you
you
could also just
Use
look through
Anki.
Anki's eyes if you wanted.
It'd be easier. That would be disorientating. It's easier to use the fairy globe. Because you'd be
Oh,
looking,
okay.
you know, you're looking through another set of eyes to try and not to
As you're
trip, you
going up the
know.
stairs.
That
Yeah,
would
yeah,
be
yeah,
quite
totally.
disorientating. So
Yeah.
you come into the attic. It's very large, like looks like it runs mostly the span of the house. It's
Mhm.
quite empty, but you do spot a number of chests around, okay?
Oh no.
Oh no!
Like of different sizes.
Oh no.
Won't open it, like you don't
Are
leave
they
it.
coffins?
And Renata,
Are
do you
they
want to give me
coffins
a
or are
detect
they
traps roll?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so sure. Give me your detect traps roll.
That is a.
Oh, God, I'm so afraid right now. You
Same.
you don't even know.
That is a 19.
There's no traps on this or any of the chests. Okay.
Okay.
Can I
Sure.
do detect magic?
Oh wait, actually, that would be. Sorry if
Mhm.
that's with my awareness. That would actually be a.
Yeah,
21.
there's no traps. Okay, yes, give me a detect magic roll.
Do it.
Please roll well. Fucking please roll well.
I know.
Okay. That was 16 roll plus
Like
Your
four?
magic.
Your magic?
five.
Is 5. 21.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Okay. So while Amanad is like examining the chests and checking them for
Yeah.
traps, you do kind of get a weird kind of vibe off in one very, very dark, shadowy corner. So Amanada, we're going to go with you first. Okay, so you're going through the chests and you open the first one, and they all seem to be kind of various different household items. You know, there's one box that has some linens and some sheets, and another box that has looks to be like extra like crockery and stuff. You know, another box that has what was probably once fine garments, but they've been badly affected by the smoke, and that still would have affected this area. And then you find a very small chest. And when you open it up, they're like, holy shit, jackpot.
Gold.
This has got a lot. You're going to have to spend some time. You can see there's several different bags and of different, not insignificant sizes, containing gold, silver, copper. And then you do find two other small little boxes. And when you open the first one, it has a beautiful golden necklace set with rubies and emeralds. And then in the other one, you find a beautiful bracelet that looks to be set with diamond.
You just throw the whole thing in the goblin purse.
Yeah, I'm going to drag Mina over.
Yeah, Mina, here you go.
Open her purse.
Yeah, open your purse. There you go.
Woo.
So,
Pour it all
Mina,
in.
you're pulling over. Okay, so Justine, you head over in that direction, being
Mina's
flanked
quite
on.
fond of money, so that's brilliant.
Yeah, being flanked on one side by a tiny little black cat, and on the other side by a basset hound with strange white markings on their back and coming down to their front paws. And as you get closer, a fairy globe out in front of you, you see up in front of you a spectral form. And slightly behind them, you see a weird, it looks like a web of shadow. And peeking out through that web of shadow, you see a young boy. And as the spectral form turns, you see a young woman. Okay? She looks to be no more than 19, maybe 20, but is clearly in a ghostly form.
That's the
And
wife.
And your man was like, what, 40?
He was like late 40s, maybe early 50s. Yeah.
It's the wife.
Sorry.
She looking at a mournful, sad look on her face. But as she looks at you, surprised to see you.
I'm going to put
waiting.
the
Mina
hands up.
has heard.
Mm-hmm. Sorry,
I'm going to
Justine?
put the
Paulina,
hands.
you go on.
I'm
Yes?
going to put the hands on and say, "We mean no harm. We want to help. What happened to you?"
We know what happened to her.
Amanada is going to stop rifling through the chest and say, "I'm sorry."
No, you're like over here, like getting distracted. You've been distracted by the gold. Shut up.
I'm
Okay?
out of my cat form.
Stealing your money.
Yeah, you're not aware of this.
You're not gonna need it.
Sylvia's going to drop the spell, by the way.
Yeah, Gwyn
sure.
too.
Boom. Okay, and she kind of looks a bit surprised at you both. She opens her mouth to speak, but no sound comes out.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Mina's
did
gonna
you,
say
did
he's
you
not.
live here? I'm so sorry.
He hurt you, didn't he? He's gone.
Well, he's gone now.
He's
You're-
gone. Like,
He's
We've
not gone?
destroyed him.
I show her Albert and I say, like, this destroyed him.
Is he still here? Can you check?
I think she is.
Oh.
He can't hurt you anymore.
We can't keep you here either. You can move on.
And
You're
she
welcome.
But first we must
gestures.
free the boy.
She gestures with her hand towards this web of shadows, and she slowly drops her hand, and the shadows dissipate. And as they dissipate and their form breaks, so does hers as she vanishes.
And the boy.
Sylvia's
The
going to
boy
hunker down. Oh, she's going to hunker
Kind
down.
of drops to the ground, and he appears to be. It's almost like he's asleep.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm gonna
so she was
scoop him up.
protecting him from.
I'm gonna scoop
That's
him
what
up.
I
The poor
think as
baby.
well.
The doctor.
It's keeping him safe from this
Yeah.
mad
So
fucking
she's
doctor hospital. What's with doctors like? lately.
So
Yeah,
Like,
so she scooped
Sylvia's
him up.
probably more used to younger kids, but you know, she's able to pick up a sleeping kid.
yeah, well, you have your stamina, so you know you have stamina and hardiness. Even though your fortitude is
Yeah.
0, you've got stamina and
Yeah.
hardiness. He's
No,
only,
but I mean more. She knows how to pick up a sleeping child.
well, I'm going to say he's also only 8, so he's not that big, and
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
kind of skinny too. So you Sylvie, you pick him up. You all turn around. I assume that if enemies just leaving, is aren't going to continue
Yeah.
exploring.
No, we're just
Get the fuck out of here.
Amanat is now banked, so they're good.
Money.
So
make it right.
so you head back down the stairs into the grand foyer, out the hall, and then out down through the what would have been a driveway, but is now an overgrown patch of dirt road towards the gates, where you see Antoine kind of just standing there. He's smoking a cigarette. He's anxiously waiting, and as he hears the footsteps, he's and he runs up to his brother. Robert, and he grabs him. And he's like, "Is he okay?"
He's sleeping.
He's just sleeping.
I think.
Oh, okay, I can fix that. And he kind of drops him and gives him a smack. Wake up, you little shit! Your mother told you never to go into there. Oh my God, I'm gonna kill you when you get home. We've been so sick and worried of you. And he wakes up. What's there?
It
The
appears.
typical, oh my God, you could have died. Come here, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly.
His bottom lip is quivering because he's really upset, and he just gives his big brother a hug.
Amanada is going to walk up to the older brother and just say, it appears as if the doctor's wife was protecting him in the house. So as far as we can tell, no harm has come to him due to her. She has now since moved on. This entire building should be
Fine now.
it should be destroyed. I would be very hesitant to go near any of the ivy.
Thank you.
Oh, I think.
Thank you, my lady. Because you're clearly rich. You can tell from your accent you're clearly rich. So hence the milady, you know. It's like, yeah. It was like, oh no, don't call me that. I was like, no, you're clearly posh.
Also, you can spread the story that that doctor was an absolute horrible
Monster. He was a monster.
And he turned into what he actually was in life, an absolute monster after death. But I said we send him to hell.
Oh
yes.
Like saints of old.
Yes.
Me?
No.
Saints?
No.
Monsieur, you very
saints,
much know
who you're speaking
praise
to.
God, praise God. No, thank you, ladies. We'll get back. We found a space for you. My mother has found space for you in our house. It's nothing simple, but we will get you somewhere comfortable to sleep for tonight, and there'll be some drinks and
we can be on our way tomorrow.
Yes, I can.
We were happy to
I
have
very
you.
much appreciate.
I can drive you back to Sheffield, or do you want to go to Lyon, or?
We were thinking Paris, no?
Oh, then Lyon. I will send you. I will drive you to Lyon in the morning.
Why don't we go to sleep and we can talk about it?
Right. So you all head back. Everybody's so happy that the young boy has returned. You have a nice evening with some celebration, some wine, people coming up to you asking you your stories.
A lot of wine.
feeling pretty good about yourselves after what was a somewhat dark and sinister experience, but also happy knowing that a evil soul was sent to somewhere they deserved, and a tortured soul was freed. And unless there are any comments, questions, or queries,
I just want to make a comment. So after reading through the journal, Amanada wouldn't have put it back.
Oh yeah, no, that's cool, of course, yeah.
So Amanada would be sharing this with
absolutely share the local legend
with the locals to say,
yeah, of course.
Change the legend.
Read
Tell them
this.
what a horrible person he
and
was.
they're
if there was, make sure everyone knows how awful he was.
Yeah,
he doesn't deserve any sort of like, oh yeah, the good doctor, blah blah blah. No,
no.
Question: how rich are we now?
Destroy his reputation as well as his soul.
Yeah, well, you do that absolutely.
You do
making sure that the people know the story of Dr. Ducharme and his poor wife. All right, so I think that is a perfect place to pause in our story. Thank you all for a very fun Halloween special. We didn't even get a chance to do an intermission, but thank you for joining us. It was something slightly different to what we do, but still in keeping with the setting. The specters and all that are part of the mechanics of the game. If you do want to have an undead theme in your Fey Earth adventures. But thank you, as I said, for joining us. You can join us again back to our usual bat time and bat channel, 8 o'clock Dublin, that is CET -1 on Tuesday, as the party travels to Paris, and then we'll see what is in store for them next. So thank you. Good night, all. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, this way.